Alright, this is our third video on the Great Depression causes. This is going from bad to worse. There's a saying in Spanish that says, from Guatemala a Guatepeor, meaning from bad to worse. Things took a really bad turn here, and here's where we're going to go. Now, remember, the banks don't have any money, companies, stock market, so the Federal Reserve is in charge of putting money out there, correct? Now, the Federal Reserve, as you can see there, shrinks the money supply. Now, I said you got one job, and that is to make sure these things. So they decided they're actually going to tighten restrictions on money, so there's less money in the economy, right? Less money to be had. Why? They didn't want to cause inflation and cause the things to go a lot worse. So they picked the lesser of the two evils. The problem is, in the long run, this turned out to be the worst one. Now, farmers, as we mentioned before, remember that McNary-Hagan bill that never passed, etc., many of them have to default on their farms. They have to foreclose on their farms. Now, as a result, we have less food available for the country and a lot of other things as well. So farmers are really upset at this point. There's a call for socialism amongst farmers and a lot of other ideas, okay? Two senators come up with an idea to help the farmers, help the country. Their names are Senator Hawley and Senator Smoot. Now, the Hawley-Smoot tariff is a high tariff. Remember, high is protective, helping the businesses. They want to help American businesses and farmers during the Depression kind of taper off. So what they do is it makes it more difficult for imports to come in and challenge the markets. The problem is, as we put our tariffs on them, they put their high tariffs on us. So everybody has less markets available to them, and no one's buying anything. And so this depression actually becomes a global phenomenon. Most countries, I think there was maybe one or two countries in Europe who didn't feel the effect of the Great Depression. Everyone is suffering, everyone has unemployment, and nothing seems to be getting better, okay? Now, Herbert Hoover actually goes to his Secretary of the Treasury, Andrew Mellon, and Andrew Mellon comes up with the idea of liquidationism. Now, if you liquidate something, that means you're kind of getting rid of the bad things. So what he wants to do is he wants to liquidate labor, he wants to liquidate stocks, liquidate farmers, liquidate real estate. He basically wants to get rid of all the bad things that have happened. Now, the problem with that is it causes a panic, and it causes people to begin to fear the federal government and not want to be a part of it, and to actually point the finger at one man. Can you guess who it is? Herbert Hoover. Herbert Hoover, you've got to do something to fix this. Okay? Now, those high tariffs we talked about before actually caused the rise of European dictators. We have Stalin come to power in the Soviet Union. We have Adolf Hitler in Germany, Benito Mussolini in Japan, Francisco Franco in Spain, a wealth of other ones. And in Japan, I know that's not Europe, we have Hideki Toyo. So these people here are going to come to power, and the reason is someone has to kind of step up and help their countries out because nobody's doing anything. All right. Lastly here, there's a kind of a heartwarming story. This was a Ron Howard film called Cinderella Man, and they actually used the things here. Jim Braddock was a boxer. He was down on his luck like a lot of people, given this other opportunity to literally fight back at the Depression. And it's a great story. I'm going to show clips of it in class to kind of show you what it was like to live in the Depression. But there's a lot of great things that come out of this. And they use real-time audio of a lot of Jim Braddock's fights to kind of go through these things. So it's really cool. And of course they're using that Cinderella Man, like Cinderella, the story there.